All right, everyone. So with this video, we're going to show you everything that you need to know about the application and what it means. There are two ways of applying for lending. The first way is to go straight to this website, to our company's website, click on apply, go to this page, fill it out, click submit, sign it, click submit. That's the quickest way. The second way is you can send them the application form. They print it out, they fill it out by hand, they send it back to you. Okay, that's the second way, but try to use this way because it helps to speed up the process. Okay, so first name, last name. Now, if you see a red star, that means that it's required. They have to fill it out or you wouldn't be able to submit, right? So legal name of entity, this is the name of the company that they register with the state. Okay, so if they register the company with the state, then put that name here. Let's say ABC LLC, ABC Corp, ABC's LP Limited Partnership, something like that, right? So fill it out here. DBA, this is important. A lot of people don't know the difference between a DBA and a legal name of entity. Okay, a DBA means doing business as. It's just a name of your business. Now, people can have just a business name. They can register for a business name, but but they don't have to register for the legal company name. So when that happens, they have to file taxes under their social security number, right? Now, if they legally apply for a company with the state, then that would be either an LLC, a corporation, or a limited partnership or something like that, right? Then they'll have a different, then when they file taxes at the end of the year with the federal, they will use their EIN number, which is next. So EIN means employer identification number, right? The IRS will mail them a letter, a one-page letter or two-page letter that says IRS letter. And on that letter, at the top right corner, there's an EIN number. That's the federal tax ID number. Okay, they use that number to file tax at the end of the year, each year with the federal. Now, there are two different type of taxes, right? There's sales tax, which is the state tax. Okay, that's different. They need to fill it out. They need to file it every month, or so. Okay, that's on the sales tax. Now, the federal tax, they only have to do it once a year with the federal. So that's two different things. Okay, so don't get that confused. So business address, state, city, fill out all that. Email address is extremely important. Okay, this is how we communicate with the client. This is how we send them the contract. This is how we receive the contract back. Okay, so email is a must, and it has to be accurate. Companies established from. This is when they apply for the company with the state and get approved. Okay, put that date here or an estimation here. Federal tax ID, which is the one that I just mentioned about. This is from the IRS letter. It says EIN number on it. That's the one that you put here. Usually this would, or not usually, but all the time it has to be 9 digits. Okay, if you have more than 9 digits, then that could be a sales tax number, and that belongs to the state tax. What we need to know is the federal tax ID, which is the EIN number. So have them look back to the letter that was sent to them by the IRS or call the CPA and ask for it. Okay, we need this. We need this to verify that the business is real, existed. So we don't want to send it to a scammer with no business. Okay. Business inception date. Now, please note that these two dates are different. Now, so you can apply for the company's name with the state on 2020, for example, but then you didn't open your store until 2021. So business inception date is when your store or your business is open. Okay, hours of operation, all that. Entity, type of entity. This is extremely important, guys. There are many type of entity, like limited liability company, which is an LLC, a corporation. Is it a C corporation? Is S corporation? Those are for tax purposes. So if they don't know if it's a C or an S, just put corporation. Okay, is it a partnership or a limited partnership? Things like that, right? So sole proprietorship is important. A lot of people don't know the difference between a sole proprietorship and a regular corporation. So a sole proprietorship means that the client apply for a business name only. That's doing business as. Remember that DBA on top? DBA is doing business as. And they just apply for the business name, but they did not apply for the company name or apply to be a corporation. Okay. So when this happens, the client would file the tax at the end of the year with their social security number. So they own the business. They do it as a personal thing. So as a sole proprietorship. Now, if they register for the company and they have a federal tax ID number, then they will file tax each year at the end of the year with that federal tax ID number and not a social security number. That's two different things. Okay. So we need to know if it's a sole proprietorship or is it a corporation. Okay. This is important. So if the client is unsure, just ask him or ask the CPA, what are you filing your tax at the end of the year with? Is it your social security number or is it with an EIN number or federal tax ID number? Then you can tell, right? The time of ownership is important. How long have they owned this business? Now, in some cases where the business has been open for 10 years, but they just took over the business for 2 years, right? We want to know the time of ownership. That means 2 years. But it's great, even though you type in 2 years here, because that's the time that they own the business, but the business has been around for 10 years. So just make sure that your client tells you or you tell the underwriter that this business has been around for 10 years but this guy just took over for 2 years. Okay, it helps the underwriter to rate the risk and to score them and to give them either a higher rate or a lower rate or a much lesser amount or more amount, for the loan. So that's important. Their home address has to be on there. The title, are they an owner, the manager, or what? Okay. So all this has to fill out. Wherever you see a star, you have to fill that out. Okay. Date of birth is important. We use that to pull the credit. Without this information being accurate, we can't pull the credit. Okay. So social security number, of course, they have to do it. Without that, we can't process the application. Right. Now, partnership. Let's say that they have more than one partner in the business, then and each of them is 50%, then both of them have to be on the application. So we want to see information of the first owner and information of the second owner, and both of them have to sign at the end. Okay. Now, if they have several owner, but there's one of them that has 51% or more, then we only need his information here, and he only have to sign. The rest of the other partners don't have to sign because he has the most influential decision on the company. So, own or lease is the location of business, own or lease. So type it here. Time at this location. So how many years they have been here? 7 years, 0 months, 1 month, whatever. Type it here. Monthly rent or mortgage. So how much are they paying rent for? Type it here. $2,000 a month. Type it here. Okay. Date the lease ends. This is extremely important, guys. We don't want to send money to someone who lease would expire the next month or the next 6 months, right? And it takes them like a year to pay. So we that's a loss right there, right? So we need to know when the lease ends. If the lease is going to end like anytime within the next 6 months, then we need to seize the lease agreement to make sure that they have an option to renew. Otherwise, they got kicked out early, and then the business is gone, and then there's no way for them to pay us back, right? Business landlord company. Now, this used to be difficult. We used to call the landlord and verify the business. Say, landlord, is this guy good? Is he paying you well? Does he have any problem with you? And if the landlord say no, he's a good guy, everything's good, then we know that he's legitimate. But if the landlord say, hey, his lease ends in the next few months, and we're not going to let them renew, then that's a no-no, right? So we used to be very difficult. We call the landlord and we verify, but nowadays it gets much easier. We don't verify the landlord anymore, only on certain circumstances where we have to do it for some reason, right? Then we would call the landlord. But other than that, we usually, or 99% of the time, we don't call the landlord anymore. But the information here will be helpful. Okay, so in case we need it, we have it. right? So it will speed up the process. Now, the landlord contact name, the landlord company name, their phone number, how to reach them, all that, right? Advisor ID, this is probably one of the most important field. We need to know who the salesperson is to pay them commission, right? So if the client goes straight to the company's website and fill this out, then you need to give them your ID number. So in this case, I put 1033, which the system recognized as a test user, right? So give them this number, or if you log into the system and you click on my profile and there's your link there, you send them that application link. The customer click on that link, go to this page, fill it out. Then the link already have your name here, so you don't have to give them anything, right? If you give them the link to click on, but if they go straight here, then they need to type your name down, okay? And all this information of credit card processing company, which credit card company are they using to process their credit cards. That's important. That also would help us to verify the business being legitimate or not. Okay, they don't have to have a credit card company. They don't have to process credit cards, but we need to know. It helps. Okay, so put all these informations down about the credit card company name, how many credit card they have, machine they have in the store, their average monthly credit card sales, estimate it, or look at the merchant statement and put it here. Okay. Average monthly total sales, that means cash, credit cards, checks, whatever, all everything. This would help for us to determine how much money we can give them and all that, and the rate and everything. So that's important. It's important to know the average monthly total sales. They can estimate it here. We'll find out anyways, but we need to know. The amount that they're requesting. This is kind of extra. A lot of people, even though you want 2 million, but you're not qualified for 2 million, so it's kind of empty. So don't put anything here. You don't have to. User fund, or if they say, oh, I want 100,000, that helps because we know how much the client needs. Then we know if we are going to be doing it, or we're going to send it to a lender that would be able to give them more, or things like that. So it would be helpful. Just put it here. User funds, we defaulted as working capital. Leave it like that unless you want to. They want to choose anything else, but we really don't care what they use the money for. But it's just helpful information, right? Just check on the month that they have the highest sales or the month that they have the lower sales. This will help the underwriter to determine if we can help the client by taking the payments a little lower on the slow months or what. So this is helpful to know. Okay, but they don't have to do it again. So if you don't see a red star, you don't have to do it, but it's helpful. It speeds up the process. Do you usually close the business during part of the year? This will tell us if they're seasonal or not seasonal. Okay, so that's important. That's risk factor. Does owner or business owe any state, federal taxes? This is important. That's risk factor. In a lawsuit, judgments, or bankruptcy, right? So that's also risk factors. Okay, so fill it out. Yes or no. Again, if the person owns that more than 51%, then only one person has to be on here and only one person has to sign. Now, if 50 and 50, two partner has to sign. Two partner have to sign, and we will need information of both. If they have three or four or five, whatever, then we need the two highest percentage to be on the application. Then they click on I'm not a robot, they click submit, right? Remember on the other video, I mentioned that if the client don't want to do the application for whatever reason, they can't do it, they don't have time, they don't know what to do, and they need your help, you can help them to fill out the application completely. But then at the end where you have to sign, don't sign. Do not ever sign it for the client under any circumstances, okay? That's fraud, okay? So fill everything out and leave the signature box blank. Okay, just click on I'm not a robot, click submit. An email will send to your client with a link and then also copy you on it, so you have that link too. So if the customer click on that link, they go straight to this page with everything filled out by you already, and then all they have to do is sign it, click submit. All right, so that's one way that you can help the client. That's it for now, guys. Have a good one.